Hello guys, how's everybody doing? I hope you're well. So let's get to the meat and taters, shall we? All right, you're gonna see me looking at the computer. So roll with me on that and let's get her done. Okay, so I wanted to address sometimes okay, so what is going on? Got too much noise going on here. um Sometimes okay, for those who don't know, I have fibromyalgia, which is fibro meaning fibers, myo meaning muscle, and algia meaning pain. So fibromyalgia is it's pain in your muscles, joints. Um, it just causes pain throughout your whole body, and there's a lot of syndromes that can go with that, like chronic fatigue syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Um, there's an entire host of conditions that go with this condition. It's like a myriad of medical problems that go with fibro. So it's not just fibro and it's pain in your muscles. There's just a whole lot more to it than that. We also have high levels of substance P in our spinal cord and high levels of substance P. Substance P, period, is a chemical released when you have pain. Well, our body releases way too much of it, and nobody knows why. Nobody knows a whole lot about fibro. Some people think that it's a new condition. It's not. There's a strong possibility that Florence Nightingale had, she was a nurse on the front lines during war. And there's a strong possibility that she had it as a result of the stress of dealing with patients during wartime and, patients on the front line. And in the latter part of what would have been her career, she was bedridden. So it isn't new. Okay. It might be new because some doctors haven't really paid much attention to it. So it's new to them, but it's not new by any means. So why do I use a wheelchair sometimes or a motorized cart when I'm in the store when I'm not paralyzed? Okay. And I got this idea from a lady that I saw on YouTube who, when she got her wheelchair, she kind of ran over to it like, yes, it finally came. And she said, yes, some people use it when they're not paralyzed, because I'm sure she was thinking that people were thinking she can walk, she can do a little run, she can be really excited and run over to her chair. Well, why does she need a chair? Because some people have a condition that if they do a lot of walking, it causes complications with their body. So we have learned the hard way to not push our body too hard and to prevent, for me, I can't speak for her, but for me, it prevents muscle spasms. So that's another thing that goes right along with fibro is muscle spasms, chronic fatigue syndrome. There's just so many things. So as I said, it's a myriad of conditions that go with it. It's not just fibro and that's the stamp you get and that's it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes with that. And if you look at, so I used to be part of a fibro support group, and we had occupational therapists teach us how to manage our pain from home, which is really nice. I did a video a really long time ago on my channel, and I taught you guys what they taught me. So how to manage your pain. You don't have to have fibro to use those home remedies, so to speak. You could have chronic pain, period, because of stress at work, and your neck is always tight or your shoulders are always tight. Men tend to carry the pain in their lower back, and women tend to carry the pain in their upper back and in their neck and shoulder area. So, yeah, muscle spasms and fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. So if you look at, I'm going to tell you how it was described to me. If you look at a chicken breast, this is going to sound gross, but I'm just keeping it real with you. Okay, if you can't handle it, click off the video. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. I hope you stick around. But if you look at a chicken breast and you see like a shiny film on it, that's myofascial material. And we have that throughout our whole body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. The purpose of it is it's almost like a coating to help you move so that when you bend your arm, you don't get stuck like that. Okay. It causes flexibility. It helps you move around, do all kinds of things, athletic things, gymnastics. The list is endless, right? So, because of that coating, it helps us move. Our myofascial uh, material is tight. So, it feels like, for me, very hard to describe, but it feels like you're wearing a cat suit, a one piece, really tight leotard or cat suit, and it's 10 times too small. Okay, so your whole body is going to be like that. In addition to, it causes muscle spasms. That tightness is squeezing on your muscles and your muscles will spasm. So I have learned that when I walk too much, my body will let me do it. It'll be like, go ahead, have fun with that. Go, yeah, walk the mall, walk the entire mall, upstairs and downstairs, and I'm gonna get you for that. And yes, that's how I learned the hard way that I have to use a wheelchair. So what happened was, me and my friend, I'll make the story short. Me and my friend went to the mall. I didn't know what exacerbated my symptoms or not. I have a better idea now, but back then I didn't. So I felt like I'm in denial to a certain degree. And I felt like I'm just gonna walk the mall. If my body lets me do it, I'm doing it. Oh yeah. Oh, it let me do it all right. And then by the time we walked everywhere, and I mean from one end of the mall to the other end of the mall, throughout upstairs, throughout downstairs, my body was like, yeah, keep going. Keep going. I got something for you. And it got me back. And oh my God. So I went home and I was in agony, and I was hurting before we left the mall because I just sat there and wouldn't say anything. And my friend goes, "You're in pain, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You want to go to Applebee's?" And I'm like, "Yes." Because Applebee's was right there. I didn't have to walk a long way to get there. Hey, heck yeah, let's go there. Because it's right there. And so I went home and I was really depressed. This was a long time ago. I was really depressed. And I'm like, I can't go to the mall anymore? Really? And it was like God was telling me, you could go to the mall. You just got to swallow your pride and get you a motorized cart. That's what you got to do. You got to swallow your pride, lose the like the self, I don't know. You just feel like, I can't think of the word, but like very self-conscious. That's the word. Everybody's looking at me using a cart, and you got to let that go. Do you want to enjoy yourself or not? Do you want to go wherever the heck you want to go, or don't you? That's what it boils down to. So I went into this little depressed mode, and then I was like, okay, fine. I'll use a cart. I wasn't happy. I remember doing, there's a ski resort here. It's small. It's called Snow Creek. They have artificial snow. And me and my friend did that. And I had met these people. We were talking and laughing and having a good time. However, by the end of the evening or by the latter part of the day, my body was like, I'm done with this walking. There's like a outdoor escalator, but you still have to walk to a certain point up to the top of the hill because the escalator doesn't go as far as the top of the hill. So there's a lot of walking involved. And my body said, we're done. So I was in a wheelchair. Thank God they had a wheelchair. And the lady that was with the guy, she goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" She thought I got hurt doing the tubing, snow tubing. And I was like, I have a chronic pain condition and my body's done with me. She goes, "Oh, okay." She assumed I got hurt on the slope. No, they have skiing and they have tubing. So you can choose whichever. They also have like a little restaurant. You can have food. You can have hot chocolate. They've got a fireplace in there. You could sit in there. They've got a huge window and you could just sit in there, drink your coffee or hot chocolate or whatever and watch people ski down the slopes. It's pretty neat. But my friend took a picture of me in the wheelchair. I didn't know he did that. And again, I hadn't come to terms with my issue. And so with my body. And so when I saw the pictures, I got so stressed out and I said, "Why'd you take a picture of me in the wheelchair?" He said, I don't know, you were just sitting there. I thought I'd take a picture. I wasn't ready to see myself in a wheelchair. That's what it really boils down to. It's not that he took the picture. I wasn't ready to see myself in a wheelchair. So I'm so past it now. I mean, that was like a long time ago, but when you know that there's going to be, your life has changed and you have to do things differently, you can do it. You just have to do it differently. You just eventually get over it. But initially, you're like, I don't want to say in denial, but sort of, kind of. So, yeah. So let me see. I'm going to tell you what this tells about. My muscle spasms are notorious for hitting me in my neck and right in here in the shoulders. And they have hit at the same time. And it literally feels like somebody has pliers and says, 1, 2, 3, get her. And all of this will tighten. I was driving a friend's vehicle a long time ago, and we had pushed it all day, going and going and going. My body was done with me up to here with my shenanigans. And so as I'm driving his car, I'm driving like this with my arms up to my ears because of the muscle spasms. So I have learned the hard way. Get your behind in a wheelchair or get your behind in a motorized cart to prevent that from happening. Unless you just want to suffer, and I don't want to suffer it needlessly. All right? So, and there's no magic pill. You have to do myofascial release. You should get professional massages. That works beautifully. Hot baths with Epsom salt works very, very well. You don't always want to pop pills. Sometimes you want to get to the root of the issue. Okay? So, let's go down here. Treating muscle spasms. You can use supplements. Most common treatment for muscle spasms is muscle relaxants such as Flexeril, which I have used, cyclobenzaprine, I've used that. That's the generic for it. Often these medications are not a complete fix. Some supplements are believed to help with muscle spasms, including magnesium, malic acid, MALIC acid, calcium, zinc, B vitamin, vitamin D. As is often the case with supplements, there's no solid evidence that they're effective. Some people get relief from therapies, including acupuncture, cupping, massage, especially myofascial release, trigger joint injections, which I'm not down for that at all, and physical therapy at home. You could try massage devices, heat, ice, stretching, yoga, tai chi, topical muscle creams, patches. What causes them? Some studies show a link between muscle spasms and myofascial trigger points. Trigger points, which are, what is that? TRPs, are small ropey bands of muscle tissue that are in constant spasm but can get better or worse at times. They generally result from an injury that doesn't heal properly. Someone with chronic pain from multiple TRPs may have myofascial pain syndrome, a condition that's strongly linked to fibro. That would be me. But TRPs are different from the tender points used to diagnose fibro. An important characteristic of TRPs, which is tender points, okay, is that they can cause referred pain. In other words, they can cause pain away from where they are. So an active trigger point in your neck may cause what feels like sinus pain around your eyes. So when a healthcare provider looks at where it hurts, there's nothing wrong. See, it's just weird that way. In one study, researchers were able to recreate the seemingly random pain of fibromyalgia by manipulating TRPs. That suggests that at least some of the fibro pain may be caused by TRPs. The good news there is that TRPs can be treated. Another possible cause of muscle spasms is a problem in the nervous system. Nerves could send signals improperly, causing twitches or spasms. While muscle cell energy deficits. While research is lacking in this area, we do know that it takes more energy for a muscle to relax than contract. In fact, it takes twice as much. Here's how it works. When a muscle contracts, small pouches in the cells release calcium. For the muscle to relax, the cell needs to pump the calcium back into the pouch. Interesting. When energy is low, the cell can't perform that job and the muscle stays contracted. There's mitochondrial dysfunction. Researchers researchers are looking at how our cells and the mitochondria within them function, exploring the theory that illnesses, including FM and chronic fatigue syndrome, involve mitochondrial dysfunction. According to some research, supplements that can increase cellular energy and mitochondrial function include B12, magnesium, carnitine, CoQ10, D-ribose, NADH, and creatine, creatine. So, while you may not be able to eliminate muscle spasms, you have a lot of treatments and management options that may help you feel and function better. As always, talk to your healthcare provider. Experiment with a variety of safe treatments and keep doing what works. This is on verywell.health.com, and it's called Muscle Spasms and Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. Yeah. So there was a let me see if I can find this. Dr. Gooch. I don't know how to spell his name. Fibromyalgia research. So I don't know if I'm going to actually find this doctor, but he is in France. And he did a study a long time ago. I'm not going to be able to find that. He did a study a long time ago on women who, a certain percentage of women who have fibro and women who do not, because it's a huge mystery. There's nothing that could be seen on a blood test, x-rays, urinalysis, blood work. They're like, it's invisible. So what they do when they treat you, or when they're trying to find out what's wrong with you, try to diagnose you, what they do is they treat you for everything, or not treat you for everything else. They test you for everything else. Rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, arthritis, just regular arthritis. And they just test you for different things. Well, one of the things that he did, Dr. Gooch, I want to say, and I can't remember how to spell his name. He's a French doctor. He discovered too, and I don't know if American doctors are hip to this or not, but he discovered through a special SPECT scan. Let me see something. We're on a roll here, baby. And I'm going to tell you what that stands for, which I used to know. It is a single photon emission computerized tomography scan, SPECT scan. And it lets your doctor analyze your body's organs, tissues, and bones. A SPECT scan is a type of nuclear imaging test, which means it uses a radioactive substance and a special camera to create 3D pictures. While imaging tests such as X-rays can show... Okay, where did I leave off at? Can show that the structures inside your body, what they look like. A SPECT scan produces images that show how your organs are functioning. For instance, a SPECT scan can show how well blood is flowing to your heart, what areas of your brain are more active or less active, and I'm going to get to that in a second, or what parts of your bones are affected by cancer, for example. Okay, so a SPECT scan, basically what he did was he discovered that a percentage, he did like a study. So these women had fibro and these women did not. The women who didn't have fibro have normal blood flow in their brain. Women who have fibromyalgia have abnormal brain flow. So part of their brain has decreased blood flow to it. That could explain, through the SPECT scan, he discovered that. So there's too much blood flow in certain areas and less blood flow in other areas of the brain. All right. So that would explain why we have a speech issue, why we have a memory, sometimes the issue, dizzy. I can get dizzy just out of nowhere. My balance is off. But that's interesting because American doctors weren't really hip to that. Some may be hip to that now, but he discovered that a long time ago. And it's just really intriguing. And it shows you that there's something there. It isn't in your, well, it is in your head because it involves your brain and your central nervous system. So it's all in your mind. It is. A lot of it is. Okay. It, decreased blood flow in certain areas of the brain, and the SPECT scan showed that. So yeah, it's interesting. It's intriguing. Like I said, it's not a new condition. It is not new. It's not new at all. I really get angry when doctors say to the patient, and I know of some women who have been told this. Okay, hold on a second. Somebody is talking to me while I'm trying to do this. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. What was I trying to say? Some doctors will tell patients that, and I know of someone who was told that, and I was so angry. Well, I can get you a medication, but I strongly suggest you see someone, you talk to someone. You know what they're trying to say, right? And some doctors, no offense, but I'm going to keep it real, some doctors are ignorant that way. They haven't done their research. They haven't made any phone calls. They haven't talked to colleagues. So to them, if they can't fix it or give you a medicine specifically for it, it must be all in your head. It must be psychosomatic. Psychosomatic my ass. Okay? Because I'm the first person to deny that something is wrong, and I keep going and going and going. I've done that my whole life until my body said, I'm done with your BS. So I'm not going to sit here and start, oh, I have a bump. It must be a tumor. I've got this. It might be cancer or this or this or this. I'm not that kind of person. I keep going and going and going. And I ignore the pain. I go, oh, that was weird. And I keep it going. So don't sit here and tell people. Some people are go-getters. They go. So don't tell them it's all in their head. They got nothing better to do. So they're just sitting there thinking about, I think I got this. No. You do your goddamn homework and you will find out that it is not in the patient's head. Just because you can't find it and you actually have to get off your ass, I'm on a roll. You have to get off your ass and do some research. Talk to rheumatoid arthritis, rheumatoid doctors, talk to them. Compare notes. Call the Mayo Clinic. They know. They're pretty smart. They know. There's no reason not to know. You've got information and hell, you don't have to do that. Just research it on your computer. What is fibromyalgia? What causes myofascial pain syndrome? What causes IBS? What causes, are there abnormalities in the brain flow in the brain? I'm helping you. This is what you research. So you don't even have to make a phone call to colleagues, although that will help you a lot. You can research it. Everything is available at the tip of your finger. So there's no excuse for you to say, oh, I think you need to talk to a professional. It's all in your head. Shut the hell up. It isn't. Don't you dare. My doctor didn't do that, thank God, because I would have fired him quick. Okay? As a matter of fact, I gave him a Time magazine little book thing, and it had an article pertaining to chronic pain and fibromyalgia, and I was like, okay. I went through each article, and I highlighted what applied to me with a marker, with a highlighter. This applies to me. That applies to me. I go through this. I go through that. And you know what he said? I didn't know what his reaction would be, but it's kind of hard to argue with Time magazine because they have a reputation that's like not playing around, right? They've been around for a long time. So he sat in a chair. He pulled out, I gave him the magazine, and he crossed his legs and he goes, okay, well, let me take a look. Oh, okay, cool. We're also prone to nerve pain, especially when the weather changes. Barometric pressure change in the atmosphere can cause pain. So just because a person doesn't look sick, that doesn't mean they're not. It doesn't mean they're not. Okay. So please, for the love of God, don't assume. And I've experienced this once, and I was ready to eat her for lunch. I look fine. I walk fine. Everything is fine. I seem to be fine. I'm not. But I'm the first person, like I said, to pretend I am. And I did that for how many years and years and years until my body got tired of me. Okay. It's like, since you ain't getting a clue, let me help you out here. Bam! Here's some pain for you. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. That sucks. But anyway, I had parked in the I broke down. It killed me. I ain't gonna lie, it killed me to get a handicap placard for my car. I hated it because that's kind of admitting defeat, and I'm not that kind of person. You know what I mean? But you got to do what you got to do because it was wintertime, and where I worked was a massive parking lot, and to walk across it in the wintertime, especially without my ski pants, was agony in my legs and my knees. So I got a handicap placard. And so on my lunch break, I'll tell you this real quick. On my lunch break, I was having a bad day. Customers were yelling at me all day. I was not in the mood, not in a freaking mood. Stress makes our pain worse, by the way. So I parked in the parking lot at Target or wherever I was, Kohl's, Target, wherever. And this lady, she's an old, and I'm telling you, I wasn't in the mood, right? So she's an old lady, and she's pushing her cart, and she looked at me, and then she looked at me again, like nonverbals. Why are you in handicap? And I went like this. I threw my arms out. Nonverbals. You want some of this? I didn't say one word. I just threw my arms out like, come on, let's go. Let's go. And she didn't say nothing. She hurried up and went about her little business. Right. Mind your business, because you don't know what somebody's going through. A person who looks like they have cancer, they don't look like they have cancer. That's why you have to do tests. That's why you do imaging tests, blood work, urinalysis, x-rays, MRIs, CAT scan. That's the reason we have diagnostic testing, because you don't know by glancing at somebody what their problem is. You don't freaking know. Okay? One more quick story and I gotta run. I was in the movie theater a long time ago. It was in the wintertime. And my body just didn't want to cooperate. So I went up, I paid for my ticket, and I couldn't walk. And so I said to the lady behind the counter, because I'm looking at where I am and where my movie theater is that I have to go to, and it's a little bit of a distance, and my legs don't want to work now. And I'm going, okay, what do I do? So I asked her, I said, do you happen to have a wheelchair? She goes, no, I don't, but let me see what I do have. I'll be back. And it took her a while to come back. So I'm like, did she forget about me? She didn't forget about me. She found a chair with wheels on it, office chair, and she brought it to me. Now, this is where your mind's going to get spun. Ready? Ready? So I sat in there, balanced my popcorn and my drink so I don't spill it. She pushed me to my movie. She said, let me know when you need help and I'll come get you. Because I had sat for an hour and a half to 2 hours, my body got the rest that it needed, and now I'm able to walk. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I put everything in the chair, my purse and whatever in the chair, and then I pushed the chair to her. I said, I'm good now. And she's like, oh, okay. So it doesn't follow rhyme or reason. It doesn't do what society expects it to do. It does what the hell it wants to do. You could be walking fine, no pain all day, and all of a sudden your body said, I'm going to give you excruciating pain because you should have stopped 2 hours ago. And what would I do? In a minute. I tell my body, in a minute, in a minute, in a minute. And my body was like, not in a minute, because you said that 2 hours ago. I'm not playing. So let me increase your pain because you're not catching a clue. And so walking was extremely painful. So what would I do? Because I'm hard-headed. I would get a cane and I would walk with a cane. And my body goes, you must think I'm playing. That's what's wrong with you. You think I'm playing with you. And so eventually I got a clue and I went home and I laid on the couch for the rest of the night. So you can't go by appearances. You got to hear someone's story. The mother has lupus. I don't. I tested negative for it. So I had to, I started documenting all my symptoms and I started rating them on a 10 scale because I know to do that. I used to work in the medical, so I kept a medical diary. That's how I got diagnosed quickly, because I jotted down everything. that I experienced, because once the pain goes, you want to forget it. Your brain goes, oh, thank God that's gone. Let's just forget all about that. Write it down. Write it down and keep a medical diary and show it to your doctor. Rate your pain from a 1 to 10, scale from 1 to 10. Tell them where the pain is. Does it feel like a sharp electrical nerve pain? Does it feel like aches, like there's a knot in your muscle? What does it feel like? Be as descriptive as possible so that your doctor has the documentation to know what tests they need to do to get you diagnosed. Okay? Anyway, you guys take care. Oh, and I had a real bad car accident when I was in my 20s. Almost got killed in a car accident. Spun two huge spins on a highway on fresh snow. And I think that's when my body said, okay, chronic pain, here we come. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And I kept ignoring it. I kept going to work. I worked 2 jobs at different times, and I just kept going. Well, my body got sick and tired of this. Okay. And it's going to let you know through no uncertain terms, that's enough. Okay. So yeah, it definitely tells me what my limits are. You guys take care. Much love. Talk to you later.